1019 KACQ.
Good afternoon. I'm Casey Chapman here with your local Lampasas area news. This newscast is service of Hoff Power Ford. It was a fairly active day for LPD yesterday. Officers responded to a couple of harassment complaints, both of them in the 200 block of Riverview within 40 minutes of each other. A fraud was reported in the 1900 block of South 281, and dispatchers sent them out to cool off a domestic disturbance in the 300 block of South Walnut. A third harassment complaint came in during the early evening hours from the 1200 block of East 3rd, and officers were sent out on a couple of suspicious person calls, the 500 block of West Avenue A and in the 200 block of East 6th. In the early morning hours, 37-year-old Mikel Rodriguez of Houston was arrested in the 1600 block of South Key Avenue on a Harris County warrant for illegal use of credit cards. At the same time, Ann Place, 24-year-old Rolando Molina, also from Houston, was taken in on a charge of fraudulent use and possession of credit or debit cards. 60-year-old Anthony Evans of Lampasas was arrested in the 1100 block of East 4th for assault causing bodily injury and family violence. The county booked in 47-year-old Lampasas man on a couple of failure to appear charges, a 46-year-old Cove man on a parole violation, 21-year-old Chance Wigner of Kempner for assault causing bodily injury on a family member, and a 35-year-old Lampasas woman on an out-of-county charge. Lomita responded to an assault and worked a civil matter. Kempner went out on a call of threats, a shots fired call, settled a disturbance, and had a few animal complaints. County deputies had a couple of trespassing complaints, a civil matter, rolled out on a few reported thefts, a handful of animal complaints, and a suicidal call. The burn ban has been lifted until May the 7th. Stick around, more Lampasas local area news is coming up next.
There's nothing like a Ford, and there's no better place to get yourself driving that new Ford like Hoff Power Ford in Lampasas. With many different vehicles to choose from, with the best prices in Central Texas, with the highest quality and friendliest service center that takes care of you and your car for years to come. Don't wait any longer. Check them out at 902 North Key Avenue in Lampasas, or go online to hford.com. See their inventory, value your trade-in, and take advantage of their local pickup and delivery. Or call Spencer McKnight at 512-556-3631. Get yourself driving your new ride today. There's nothing.
Road repair continues on South 281 between County Road 4016 north of the high school to County Road 1002. The work is estimated to be completed by the end of the week. Of course, that's weather permitting. A town hall meeting is scheduled for Lampasas residents Thursday evening, March the 11th at the old middle school cafeteria. The City Council is putting it together to receive input from residents on the winter weather event and the disruptions of electric and water service. Council and staff felt it was critical to include public input to fully understand the impact and possible solutions moving forward. Copper's Cove Fishing in the Park event goes on this Saturday morning from 9 to 11 at the City Park Pond on West Avenue B. It is free for all ages. Bring your own fishing gear, but bait will be provided. You can bring your own if you wish. All Texas parks and wildlife regulations will apply, including participants 18 years and plus, and the age having a fishing license and 5 trout limit per person. The deadline to renew your driver's license and vehicle registration is getting closer. The waiver on expiration dates for DL and ID cards ends on April the 14th. DPS encourages anyone who needs to renew to schedule an appointment at any driving license office online. If your driver's license has expired and your scheduled appointment is on or after April the 15th, you can request a temporary license until your appointment date. You can get a schedule of appointment at dps.texas.gov. Many Texas farmers were hit hard by last week's freeze, but some dodged a bullet.
The fruit on the vines that create the state's wines were harvested back in October, meaning the freeze did not affect this year's crops. The question remains, were they damaged as buds bloom next month? Roxanne Myers with the Wine and Grape Growers Association says when you have a weather event that affects yield, the grapes end up being a better quality.
We saw a significantly reduced crop in 2020. But the crop that we saw was high quality.
She says it's too early to tell how vines may have been affected, impacting an industry that brings in $13 billion to the state's economy. Michael Board, TSN News.
ERCOT delivers its report of events that led to the failure of the state's energy grid. TSN's Austin Bureau Chief Chris Fox reports the ERCOT board called an emergency meeting ahead of today's state legislators hearing.
ERCOT CEO Bill Magnus said the failure of the energy providers late Sunday, early Monday morning forced the rolling outages to keep the grid from a total collapse.
It becomes, unsafe or unstable for those generation units to stay on if we are sitting at that lower frequency for 9 minutes or more. We sat in that spot for 4 minutes and 23 seconds.
Many of the generators failed to come back online till the temperature rose days later.
Generation owners and operators aren't required to implement a minimum weatherization standard.
5 ERCOT board members' resignations are effective after the meeting. In Austin, Chris Fox, TSN News.
In sports, the Badger boys move up to the area-wide playoffs against Argyle tonight in Italy at the Gladiator Dome. Of course, you can hear that game live on KCYL 1450 on the AM side or on lampasasradio.com. Lady Badger softball looks to improve in Llano varsity tournament today through Saturday. District play starts March the 23rd on home dirt against Gatesville. And Badger baseball is in Salado tournament through Saturday. For your COVID-19 update, yesterday's estimated active COVID numbers around the region reported from the state shows Bell County up 7 at 425 active cases. Coryell County is reporting 485. Burnett is down 15 with 494. Mills up a couple with 67. San Saba down 7 to 42, and Hamilton down 3 with 41. Here locally, as of yesterday, Lampasas County was showing 18 active cases, a 7-case drop since the previous report. The number of fatalities remained at 25, and 5 remain hospitalized. The number of total cases in the county is at 2027. Thank you to our viewers. We'll see you again next time. I'm Casey Chapman here with your local Lampasas area news.
1019 KACQ.